let's queer up health. Transgender adults have trouble finding elder care. Queer News Tonight anchor Rajee Narinesingh
Go for it.
faces struggles throughout her life as a transgendered woman, from workplace discrimination to the lasting effects of black market injections that scarred her face and caused chronic infections. In spite of the roadblocks, the 56-year-old Florida actress and activist has seen growing acceptance since she first came out decades ago. Now, as a wave of new state laws enacted this year limit transgendered people's rights, Rajee has new uncertainty about her own future as she ages. Most of the new state laws have focused attention on trans youth, with at least 22 states banning or restricting gender-affirming care for minors. For many transgender seniors, it's brought new fears to their plans for retirement and old age. Transgender adults say they're worried about finding welcome spaces to live in their later years. Discrimination can range from being denied housing to being misgendered and struggling to get nursing homes to acknowledge their visitation rights. About 171,000 of more than 1.3 million transgender adults in the United States are aged 65 and older. The growing population has brought more services such as nursing homes and assisted living centers that are geared towards serving the LGBTQ+ community. Such facilities remain uncommon. They include the Stonewall Gardens, a 24-apartment assisted living center that opened in Palm Springs, California in 2015. This is just one of those areas that we got to keep fighting for.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have to take care of our own community, and we're going to have to make those spaces like we've always taken care of.
Well, I think that the community might have fallen behind in the way that straight people didn't. I mean, straight people have senior communities, senior places where they can live, and I don't think we ever thought that far. Some of us never thought that far in advance or planned that far in advance. And fortunately, there are places. They mentioned that place in Palm Springs. There's the John C. Anderson Apartments in Philly. There's Town Hall Apartments in Chicago. There's the Pride in Boston. And of course, here we have the residences at Equality Park. But more needs to be done.
Yeah, I think we're at an interesting time because this is really the first time in history where we have older, out LGBTQ people that we're even talking about senior living.
Yeah.
Right? This is never,
because
we've never
so much
had
of
this
the community
before.
was decimated.
Well, decimated, and we weren't allowed to be out for centuries and, you know, all the different things. And so kind of this is like our opportunity since we're creating it. It's never been done before to go, okay, what do we want our lives to be like as seniors? And I think we should go big. I mean,
well, this is where all that activity
right? I don't want a senior living bed. I want like disco ball. I want Sunday tea dance.
It's not just the activism, it's also the financial planning. I mean, you need to come up with more than a 20 unit complex and a 12 unit complex. We need to come up with, we have down here John Knox Village, which is thousands of apartments.
And lots of gay people there too.
Well, we need to start putting our money where our mouth is.
Yeah, something like a Century Village, but for LGBTQ.
Exactly.
You know?
But we have to consider that a lot of trans and queer people of color, you know, live in poverty.
Right.
Especially trans women of color. They live in poverty, and they, you know, some of them have to rely on sex work or, you know, whatever kind of gig work they can get because, you know, the offices don't want to hire them. Maybe they didn't go into college because they were, you know, shuttered from their homes and from resources. So that's a very big issue we have to deal with our community, is that our seniors are going to retire with no savings or, you know, wealth or even Social Security, having paid into Social Security.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what we have to deal with. Yeah.
Right. Someone brought up, I think you brought up voting before.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's really important for our community to become very knowledgeable in politics. And to find out that you need to go to that commission meeting, you need to say, hey, that senior home, we have a beautiful senior buildings at Miami Beach. None of them are LGBTQ. You know what I mean? It's time for us to start showing up now going, hey, in your next plan for that next 3-building complex, make sure
15%
that they can accommodate.
plus.
Exactly. And I think we have to get out in front of this because the time goes by fast. Before you know it,
And we're aging.
we're aging rapidly.
Some of us faster than we want.
That's
do you mean?
right.
All right, well, slow it down, guys, and let's.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ plus evening news show, brought to you from Happening Out Television Network. We operate in the same model of PBS and NPR, but for the LGBTQ plus community. We educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community, with more than 100,000 a week watching us on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the story going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.